UCLA. Hi, everybody. Dave Fleming alongside Dan Dockich. All right, you got Buzz, maybe the best UCLA team since Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook were here, and a guy who's going to join those two in the league sooner rather than later. Lonzo Ball has just changed this team.
And Dave, I think he is the #1 player in the country right now. He's leading the country in assists. He has led everybody with UCLA back from last year move over one spot, particularly Bryce Alford. Now doesn't have to be the point guard and the scorer. Isaac Hamilton has been fantastic. The stars are out, but this kid is the star of stars. Lonzo Ball cares about one thing and one thing only. That's winning. Dave, he only took 3 shots against Cal Riverside. He just doesn't care.
He has more assists than shots taken on the year. He's got more assists than shots.
And, you know, people have compared him to Jason Kidd, and that's accurate. I think he's a better shooter coming out at this stage than Jason Kidd was, but he's not as good a shooter as that guy was, because that guy was one of the best ever right there.
One of the best ever, and he is happy about the way his team is playing. Steve Alford, 4th year at UCLA. John Beilein, who has done a heck of a job in Ann Arbor. It's his 10th year as the head coach at Michigan.
Said today, we cannot make this an AAU game. This game cannot be 94-92. It has to be 72-70.
And we'll see if the Wolverines can do that. UCLA with that impressive win last weekend at Rupp. And everybody thought, okay, the Bruins are a much improved, talented team. That was a win that has sort of validated everything for this UCLA.
You know what? It validated their toughness, but more than that, it validated their ability, but more than that, it validated their toughness to go into Rupp, get down in the first half, and play great in the second.
A quick 3 from Derek Walton, and they need some of those to go down.
They have to have it. After the Texas game, John Beilein told me, we've got to run. Not out of control, not crazy, but we've got to run. We've got to get easy buckets. Got one there.
Against almost any other opponent, you would really say, yeah, let's run. Against this team, I do think you got to be careful. Good look for another talented freshman. Leaf off the carom ball, hits the 3.
It's a funky shot. It's a shot from the other side. You shoot it from the right side, right-handed, you should shoot it from the right side. He shoots it from the left side of his face, but it has great spin.
Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman on the drive. The runner is no good. UCLA is, Dan, without tonight their top shot blocker, Thomas Welsh, who's really playing well. He's got a bruised knee, and he will not play.
It's huge. It's huge because he's the guy they went to down the stretch for a couple big buckets at Rupp.
Isaac Hamilton, actually their leading scorer, with all the buzz around the freshman. TJ Leaf trying to drive baseline. That was good Michigan defense. Hamilton came up short, got his own miss.
We're talking about Ball, but TJ Leaf, as John Calipari said, and I watched it, he dominated that game against Kentucky. Double-double, did everything right defensively.
Coach Cal couldn't stop talking about him. Pull up, long 2, no good. Rebound Wolverines.
Michigan's playing great defense. Here's what great defense means against UCLA. Can transition defense, #1, and then keep everybody in front of you, #2.
DJ Wilson, not a huge scorer, but he has played well in the early part of the season. Shot clock under 10. Zach Irvin, their leading scorer. Back to Mo Wagner for 3. The big man can hit it from the outside.
Honest to goodness, might be the most improved player in the country. And in shoot-around today, John Beilein, you went to him constantly about this is what you have to do. Step behind like that. Drive from the top of the key. Drive from the sleeves.
G.G. Golliman with some contact, no whistle, lays it in.
The contact was one thing. The extension of the arm brought Michigan's bench up. That looked offensive to me. Not the body's bumping, but when you extend an arm.
He's the guy starting in place of the injured Thomas Welsh. His first basket. Michigan with the ball leading by 1. Walton against Ball. Senior against freshman, the 3. A little too strong.
That's what happens. Michigan gets stuck when they don't have anything going to the rim. You saw the Wagner 3 was off penetration. That 3 was off stand around. No good.
A free-flowing game so far, up and down. Leaf, little baby hook from the lane.
Man. DJ Wilson's their energy guy for Michigan. He's a defender. Leaf made him look sick.
He did that a lot against Kentucky. He scored in just about every way.
Does it easy too, Dave. He doesn't even sweat.
Wagner with the shot fake, trying to drive it in, and a foul.
Well, Michigan's bench exploded. You're going to see a drive here. Watch the right arm. See that push right there? That is, in every game that I've done this year, automatic offensive foul. Refs just missed it.
This is our first whistle, first stoppage of play, almost 4 minutes in.
I hope it continues, because these guys want to play. They don't want, and we want to watch. We don't want to listen to whistles.
Well, Wilson for three.
Hit a couple of them against Texas. But back on defense quick.
And they didn't get back very quickly.
There is no shot clock in this game for UCLA. None. Zero.
One of the highest scoring teams in the country, one of the fastest tempo teams in the country. Wagner thought about another one.
Yeah, he did.
This time he will shoot. Contested three is good.
Wow. You can tell he's a confident kid, as you said, Dave. He hit the one, and he wanted to pull the second one. Second time he got it back. Look at this.
Lonzo Ball. My goodness. What a start to this game.
Oh, is this fun? Oh, is this fun?
And Walton wasn't paying attention, looking back to his bench. Walton tried to hustle back and get to the ball. He touched it. It goes out of bounds.
Hey, Wagner takes off on a three. He hit one earlier. Now he just fills in behind and does it with a hand in his face and lets everybody know. And then here, this is just deep. There's nothing you can do with this. First pick in the draft, I think. Low ball. You've got Vince Vaughn here.
All the big stars
She got
are
to
here.
yell at Ari Gold. That was great on Entourage.
Yeah, that was.
Got to cuss him out.
That's when you know, though, that the Bruins are back, because this is a Hollywood town, and it takes a lot. You got to be good to get the attention of the folks in LA, and the Bruins are really good.
I asked Steve yesterday, Alford, about the Stars, and the first person he mentioned was Corey Pavin.
Yeah, that doesn't
great
qualify,
guy,
Steve.
U.S.
Sorry.
Open champ.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
In this town?
Right.
Well, Steve's got to get tightened up. The cameras are on him a little more often this year. And last year, UCLA finished under 500. They finished 10th in the 12-team Pac-12. They missed the tournament. There were banners flying over Pauley Pavilion. Fire Steve Alford. Now they're number 2 in the country, and the Hollywood folks are here.
Can you imagine? I mean, Steve's a friend of mine. We played together, full disclosure. But can you imagine what kind of jerk you have to be to hire a plane and fly a banner over a place to fire another human being?
What do you think that cost? 25 grand?
I don't know, but Steve will laugh about it. He told his boosters, hey, you all are on this banner as being a donor. I'm on banners flying overhead. He said, cross it off his bucket list.
Well, you see those year-to-year numbers, the program arc, you might say, is not going in the right direction. Steve's son, Bryce Alford, turns it over.
And Bryce Alford caught so much grief last year, and I think so unfairly. He was asked to be the point guard. He was asked to be a volume shooter. He was asked to take every big shot, whether it was in the middle of the game, end of the game, and that's just tough. Now he's a tremendous college player, having a great career and enjoying playing college basketball.
Xavier Simpson turns it over right into the game.
Lonzo Ball had his hands in the passing lane. Simpson threw it right into the hand.
Ball kept that foot down, finds his fellow freshman Leaf, who missed the shot after a great move, but follows his own miss, and a foul.
Freshman's not supposed to do that. Freshman is not supposed to have Kevin McHale. Watch his little dream shake with a little Kevin McHale in it. Misses, goes right over. He plays. Bill Walton. Bill Walton always used to catch the basketball at the top of his arm extension. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you rebound, extend your arms to the top. That's where he caught the ball rebounding, and that's exactly what Leaf does, and it makes him play bigger than what he is.
A rare missed free throw, UCLA, among all their other gifts.
Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Watch, he misses. Watch, see how he gets extended right there. His arms are fully extended when he gets rebound. Now you say everybody does it. No, they don't. They really don't. A lot of guys rebound at their forehead. He rebounds at the top, which gives him 4 more inches as a rebounder.
Rockman hits a 3, and he's been ice cold the last few games. Michigan shots are going in.
Hasn't made a basket in the last 2 games. He's a guy that can go get buckets. That's a huge start for him and for Michigan.
Well, the Wolverines have come to play. Their baseline move up and under is good. Another talented young player. That's Ike Anagobu with his first basket of the day.
Yeah, Anagobu just dominated Wagner. Wagner's got to do a better job, as does Wilson on the post. Too easy for UCLA inside.
Michigan, 15 points, all on 5 made threes. Rockman with 10 on the shot clock. Rebound Hamilton.
I don't know if they're getting confused by the students, but that's the second time they've taken a 3 Michigan has. With 12 on the clock, 10 on the clock when the students are yelling 5.
Foul against the Wolverines. Tomorrow we got another doubleheader on ESPN. College hoops will start with Kentucky in Brooklyn against Hofstra. So that could be a cool scene, 3 Eastern on ESPN. And then Tennessee, North Carolina at 5. Both games will stream live on the Watch ESPN app.
Yeah, Hofstra, it's going to be a cool scene, but the game's going to be over in about 3 minutes.
Game might not be all that cool. Aaron Holiday, who is comes from a great basketball family. Drew, Justin, his older brothers. Now Aaron, a talented sophomore for UCLA. TJ Lee from that elbow area. He likes that spot.
And he dribbled right to it. I mean, he put his head down. He knew that spot. Didn't matter that DJ Wilson had put a hand. You cannot let any of these UCLA kids get into the middle of the floor. They're too good. You got to keep them going to the baseline.
Averaging better than 17 a game. TJ Leaf. Irvin. That's a travel.
That's where Michigan gets stuck. When you see Michigan dribbling side to side and not cutting or driving to the basket north and south, Michigan has a bad possession.
And Zach Irvin, I mean, in some ways, he's their most talented player. He's their leading scorer. They need him to play well.
They need him to get his shots throughout the offense. Cut, back cut, that type of thing.
Now lost Holiday, who hits a 3 with a hand in the face.
Man. Again, where'd that shot come from? It came from the middle of the floor. I'm telling you, you cannot let UCLA play in the middle. They have to play going to the baseline.
Over the top, Simpson goes baseline. Thought he had a layup. Instead found Irvin for 3 from the corner.
Now that's what I'm talking about with Irvin. They ran their offense. He got to a comfortable right corner, and Simpson found him. When he starts dribbling again, east and west, it's no good.
6 threes for Michigan here in the first 8 minutes.
You heard 45% of the shots are threes.
Yeah, I think the Wolverines are okay with that, and the shots are going in. They get a timeout. So no jump ball. That's a timeout. Michigan will have it. When we come back, the head coach of the Bruins and my partner, Dan Dockage.
Some hair. Steve has maintained it. Me, not so much.
So there's Cam. And
throw the ball.
Yeah, why isn't he passing it to you?
Because all he did was shoot in college. You're talking about the all-time leading scorer in Indiana.
There's a highlight moment of the 2 of you.
Yeah, that was in the Garden. That was my last game. Reggie Miller dunked on me on a baseline drive, and that was my last play as a college player. Coach
that was
Knight
it.
Took me out, and Coach Knight's wife, Nancy, started cussing at me from the 3rd row. True story.
Because Reggie Miller dunked on you.
I suppose. I don't know. It was the finals of the NIT. Reggie Miller lit us up.
He dunked on a lot of people.
He did. Reggie Miller. And it's interesting, that picture, Indiana Pacer fans were dying for Alford to be drafted with the 17th pick. The Pacers chose Reggie Miller. Crowd booed. Reggie turned out pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Irvin, nice pull-up.
That's off a high ball screen, which Irvin likes going to his right. He squares up really well. Again, he's got to get things out of the offense.
Just the kind of game we were hoping for.
Absolutely.
That's a 3. Lonzo Ball.
Man.
He's known for his passing, but my goodness, the shooting here early.
You know, he came off of a screen on the right side, so he's running away from the basket. He had to turn his body in to shoot the basketball. That is not an easy shot.
Well, you said he reminds you of Jason Kidd at this point in his career, but a better shooter. He's looking like it. That's a goaltend.
Well, that's vintage right there, John Beilein basketball. A little curl for Irvin. He came off a ball screen. Screener rolled. This time it was Donnell.
But Donnell gets credit for the bucket. 2-point game. Bruins really only have the 3 guard. Well, you can count Isaac Hamilton as a guard, but he's a starter. Holiday's kind of the one guy off the bench. Leaf, open 3. Good.
TJ Leaf is so good. He caught it in his shooting pocket and just flicked it.
So he's got 9. Lonzo Ball has 9.
How about this? Lonzo Ball has switched on to Irvin, the hot man. Tells you a little bit about what Alford thinks about his defense.
Shot clock starting to wind down. Simpson with 3 to shoot under the basket. Got to get a shot off. That was pretty well done, but it's an air ball and a shot clock violation.
And it was all because Lonzo Ball got on top of Zach Irvin, didn't let him touch it.
So he's doing a little bit of everything right now.
If you're going to be a great player, you got to play both ends. I mean, go back to it, whether it's Bird or Magic or Michael Jordan, they all played both ends. You know, LeBron James plays both ends.
And I do think that he did not play a great game defensively last weekend at Rupp.
You know what? He was going against a guy that I think is just
is what? A slam dunk NBA lottery pick?
Oh, man.
Wow. Bogu, spectacular alley-oop. Donnell. Rockman feeling it early. That one too strong. Offensive rebound, Michigan. Derek Walton back in the game. We got a nice rest on the bench. Feels like Michigan's really playing well, and they're down 7. Duncan Robinson going to the basket.
Well, that's pretty good. Duncan Robinson, known as a shooter. Last 2 games, though, he's had buckets inside the paint, which has been rare, which was rare for him last year.
That is a new dimension to his game.
Really good.
He transferred from Division III and immediately became an impact guy.
You know what? He came. He was an All-American freshman year at Williams College, and wow.
Bryce Alford in the lane.
You know, you watch Bryce Alford on TV and you don't think he's that big, thick, and strong. You look at him in person. I was talking to him out on the court. He's a put-together guy. He's a fullback-looking dude.
Robinson picked up his dribble. Walton gets a screen from Donnell. A little hesitation move. Shot blocked. And blocked again. Robinson with the shot clock winding down, hits the 3. What a sequence.
Oh, man. Don't stop this game.
And Bogu, the alley-oop on one end, a spectacular shot blocking on this end, but it turns into 3 points for Michigan.
Oh, and Bogu went up and got them both perfectly timed. You know, really, for UCLA, just bad luck. I mean, 2 block shots. They both went into the hands of Michigan. That time, desperate end of clock. Duncan Robinson squared his feet.
I think the officials, there's some sort of clock issue. I think instead of 2 versus 3, I think they're looking at the shot clock. There's 1. There's 2. Shot clock. Yeah, he got it off. Don't you think?
1,000%.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it had to be 3 against 2. I was sitting there looking at the clock. There's no question here.
There was no question for me.
Why do referees decide that they're going to slow the game down? Are they just the Grinch this holiday season? We've got a great thing going on right here. That ball is clearly out.
The Bruins, I don't think they were complaining about it.
No. The only guys complaining about it are guys who are making the most money on the court. Paid to do it.
Well, they're going to keep looking at it. It's definitely a 3. It's definitely off in plenty of time. Not close. There's no gray area there whatsoever. None.
I thought maybe they were looking at the feet or 3 to 2.
Well, I thought so too. Sometimes, yeah, that's a 3. So maybe that's what they were looking at. That was pretty clear to me also once you saw one replay.
54 years old, I've got bad eyes.
Other than that, though, you're doing good.
Yeah, not bad. honest to goodness.
You kind of enjoyed your time here in Southern California.
This is the greatest place ever. This place. Although I had a $38 salad today, which I'm not too excited about at Spago.
Was it good? Look at you hanging out at Spago.
I know, right? Saw Ellen at dinner. Craig's the other night.
Ellen DeGeneres?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard you two are close. Alford, 3 contested, good.
Jeez, what do you do?
I mean, I don't know what you do about that one.
You know, usually you say, all right, here's where they made a mistake defensively, but really the hand was extended, the hand was up early, and Bryce Alford just lifted up.
Walton, Robinson trying to shake ball. Good defense from the freshman. Donnell, 3. Another one for the Wolverines. They're shooting. He's keeping them in it.
Well, he's only hit 2 all year, but that's a real strength for Mark Donnell. He is a shooter first and foremost, a pick-and-roll guy second, and then a postman.
Alford running that baseline, found an opening, missed the shot on a foul against Golliman, pushing off to get that offensive rebound. What a game so far. We got 7:17 still to go in the half, and it's 34-30. Doug, Steve Lavin. Lav is here. Does he count as a celebrity around here? He absolutely does.
Look at the hair, the tan.
He's definitely looking the part.
Shoot, I saw him today earlier doing some Fox.
Yeah. Oh, so
am I allowed to say that?
No, you're allowed.
Busy man.
The only time you're allowed to say
Is
it.
he sitting in the former John Wooden seat on the aisle up there? Or is that seat empty? I don't know. Didn't look like it.
We'll get our team on that one. That pass, I thought it got deflected out of bounds, but maybe Irvin touched it. It's a turnover.
Whenever you see Michigan cut slowly, meaning they don't V-cut and sprint, bad things happen. And that's another way they get stuck on offense. Look, you never see UCLA doing anything but cutting hard. Everybody is sprinting off of their cuts. That is a key if you're going to be a good offensive player.
They move the ball so beautifully. Leaf, little shot fake into the baseline jumper.
He's really good. I mean, let me give you some real analysis here. How about he caught it, knew the defender was coming at him because he made his last 2 or 3, shot faked it, took one dribble, and before, and this is huge too, before he got in trouble, he shot the ball, didn't go too deep.
Duncan Robinson, 3.
Bad move by Bryce Alford. He went to the inside of that screen. Robinson read it. You have to chase Duncan Robinson. You have to be your nose on his hip. You cannot go inside of a screen.
Michigan's 9 of 12 from 3, and they're losing.
You said it in the break. They'd be beating anybody else in the country.
They would be winning against every other team in the country at the moment. Good effort from the Bruins. Agobu couldn't get it to go. Now a turnover.
Agobu is going to be a superstar. You can see it real quick. And he looks like the kind of kid that just wants to listen. See, look at Irvin. Irvin wasn't cutting. Don't watch the ball when you watch Michigan. Watch who's cutting hard. Right now, nobody's moving.
Pull-up jumper, Irvin. See if the Bruins run. Holiday, 3. Good.
Can't relax. Can't relax. Irvin just relaxed. And Holiday just changed direction on him. And because Irvin relaxed, he was too far off. You can never relax on defense. You can never stand straight up. You have to be down, tightly wound.
Michigan's 9 of 12 from 3, and UCLA shooting better than they are from 3 percentage-wise. 7 of 9. Walton almost slipped. Now goes right down the lane. Draws a foul. Not a shooting foul.
You want to know how to give a shot fake? Show the ball. There. See the ball went over his head? That gets him every time. And now right here, you go underneath the screen. Robinson's going to read it. And, of course, you never relax. Look at Irvin. He relaxed. Holiday beat him to the spot. You should, the defensive man should move either before or in concert with the offensive man. Never late.
DJ Wilson adding an element to his game. Another Michigan 3.
How fun is this?
I can't remember the last game that was quite like this in terms of shot making. UCLA's a team that averages 97 a game, but it's not always quite like this. There's a miss.
Now, if you're Michigan, you want to keep the ball moving. John Beilein talked about this after the Texas game. They were too slow. They don't want to grind everything out.
Speaking of the Texas game, can you believe this is the same team?
No.
Nice up and under move, Robinson.
Ball never died. Wilson went to the middle. Robinson saw his man turn his head. That's what Beilein was talking about. Get some easy buckets by secondary break. Ball doesn't stop.
A high-level game. 1 point lead for the Bruins. Holiday, I thought he traveled, but a foul.
You can't let the ball, either team, get into the lane. Might have been a walk, and then the back cut because Bryce Alford turned his head. When you are playing a defender, or when you are a defender playing a man outside the lane, you have to stay closed with your shoulders, meaning a contesting position. When you open up, you lose your man, and you're susceptible to a back cut.
Wagner had just come back in, now commits his second personal, goes right back to the bench.
Well, it's a bad call.
Rebound for Robinson. So maybe Michigan can give UCLA a taste of its own medicine. In transition, the three for Irvin is good, and the Wolverines have the lead.
Unbelievable play by two guys. Irvin made the shot. He's not one of them. Donnell called for the ball for Irvin, screened in, and then Walton found him because of the center, Donnell, calling for the shot for Irvin.
These two teams are 18 of 23 for three, and we'll have to update that. A missed three. Lonzo Ball, though, to Alford. He'll try. No good. All right, so they can miss. It's possible. Irvin trailing. Hits another one.
Man.
Timeout, UCLA.
Oh, David. He caught it and just released it. Didn't dip it. Didn't cock it, just got it and let it fly. How much fun is this?
44-39, a lot of fun.
Wow.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hyundai.
Look forward to that. 11-0 run for the Wolverines, who are just not missing shots, and they got a 5-point lead on the road against number 2.
Well, they're getting good shots. That's first and foremost. They're 12 for 15. They haven't shot a free throw, Michigan has now. They're 12 from 15 from the three-point line. And one of the things that hasn't hurt them because of their three-point shooting is really a nothing inside, a lack of anything. They have nothing going on inside. They've got to lock down, though, on UCLA inside, because UCLA has a place to go when any of shots are missed.
And this is an interesting lineup. Remember, no Thomas Welsh for the Bruins today. Got a bruised knee. Leaf is basically playing the 5 with this group on the floor. That ball stripped away. And the lead pass to Irvin in a foot race. Irvin missed the dunk, and there was no whistle. Out of bounds off of UCLA.
Well, Leaf did a great job. Ball turned it over, and Leaf just sprinted down. Irvin saw him, and Leaf just hunted him down and got a piece of it.
Great hustle from the freshman. Michigan will have the ball, though. Irvin the inbound. Kind of an awkward place to get the ball in. Again, it's what a first half in LA at Pauley Pavilion. 50-50. The Stars are here. Vince Vaughn taking pictures during halftime. Jessica Alba, maybe even a little more popular for the photo takers. If we had more time, we might show this real time, but there were so many made threes, Dan. We have to speed it up a little bit.
This was so much fun. Dave, you and I were talking. I think this is the best half of basketball that I've seen in my 7-8 years of working at ESPN. Shots were going in. Players were having a blast. And the truth of the matter is the referees had more fun than anybody. They came over and said how great this is.
That was Michigan's three-point shooting. They were 12 of 16. And what did that earn them? A tie game. They were 12 of 16. Dave Fleming, Dan Dakich. We can only hope that the second half will be that good.
Well, they're 12 of 16, and that's great. But UCLA, 10 for 14. And as my son came over, said, Dan, how about Lonzo Ball from half court to end the half?
Why not?
Why not?
Just like he's been doing it his whole life.
And I think he had.
Lonzo Ball, TJ Leaf and company #2 ranked team in the country. And for all of the fun and the up and down action and the scoring, they're in a dogfight.
Tie game.
Here is Leaf. Matched up with DJ Wilson, who got a hand on it, but Leaf, he's just so smooth.
Yeah, that was interesting. DJ Wilson played him to his left hand, meaning he could go into the middle, Leaf. And Leaf fumbled it. Didn't look comfortable dribbling with his left hand, but you cannot let a good player into the middle of the floor.
Wagner, who had 2 fouls, draws one here himself, putting it on the ground against Goleman.
And that's what they talked about. John Beeline and the staff talked about Wagner when he got the ball around the foul line or right or left of the lane line. Go, take it, put your head down, create a foul situation.
Well, Michigan only 5 3-pointers away from an all-time single-game record for them. Pretty good look for Wilson, missed it.
I thought he should have gone to his left hand. He came back into the defender. Better find here.
Ball from the corner. Came up short.
Now again, Michigan has had a tendency of playing a good half, coming out slow offensively in the second half. See, this is really good by Michigan. They kept the ball moving. Got a good look, just missed it.
And Wilson, 2 good looks here in the first minute plus.
It's a layup.
Yep. Goleman runs the floor. Great look from Alford.
And Wagner and Wilson got completely messed up. And again, sluggish by Michigan. Basketball, you can tell if a player is sluggish if he doesn't communicate, if he doesn't talk.
Abdul Rockman going to the basket. He draws a foul.
You see right here, this is a layup. Goleman is running the floor. The 2 Michigan guys aren't talking to each other. That's not physical. That's just mental. And this has been a problem with Michigan. They've had good first halves, but the second half, they've come out slow and sloppy.
If that happens here tonight, and so far, some signs of that, they're going to get blown out.
Quickly. Like 5 minutes. This will be 20.
UCLA is just relentless.
And you know what? That's amazing, and that speaks to the job that Steve Alford does. He's got a young team that maintains their enthusiasm and energy throughout the course of the entire game. They really don't have any lulls other than if they're missing shots.
2 free throws, 2-point Bruins lead. Goleman's got 4 fouls now. He's on the bench, and they get better with Anabogu off the bench for UCLA. Hamilton.
Can't do it. How many of these shots are in the middle? I don't care if Wagner's 6'10" long arms. These guys are confident in the middle of the floor.
Irvin has played well. A little hesitation. Another block, Anabogu. Ball all the way with the left hand.
That was Jason Kidd. That's when you talk about Jason Kidd. Full speed with the ball, never slows down, can get it over bigger, can get it over small.
So a burst for the Bruins. Irvin misses the 3. Alford, Irvin hustled and got a hand on it, and then Wagner very smartly tipped it back to Irvin. Walton to the trailer for 3. Too strong.
You knew the threes weren't going to keep falling at this rate. Water has a tendency to find its level. The guy who's going to make threes this half is Alford.
Bruins are going to run some half-court offense here.
Got him.
Ball backdoor from Hamilton. What a dish for the layup.
What a play by Ball falling out of bounds.
And a timeout, John Beeline.
Oh, man. The block to start it. And then Ball full speed just around Wilson. And, oh, well, I'm going to fall out of bounds. Hang, fine, layup. Was, in my opinion, far and away the only guy really to vote for.
He was the best player in the country all year long.
Yeah, Jabril Pepper is very good, maybe the most versatile player in the country. Interception against Ohio State helped, but that kid right there was the best player in America.
All right, big spot here for Michigan because they were up 7 late first half. Here early second half, they're down 8. That's a big, quick swing. Irvin dumps it to Wagner with a foul.
See, that entire possession was geared on getting the ball inside. Right from the start, they ran a little upscreen for Wagner, and at the end of it, you see an extra 2 dribbles, meaning the second dribble was to stay low and support yourself so you're able to find or go make. Really good play by Irvin to Wagner. But a better play by John Beilein, making sure that the ball was going to go inside on that possession.
Wagner's got that great shooting touch from the line, completes the three-point play.
Well, that was huge. Dave, minute 22 to go, I think you said it. They were up 7, Michigan was.
Minute 22 left in the first half, up 7 to, I mean, really blink of an eye, game time-wise, down 8. Alford thought about the 3. Michigan switching. Hamilton with a whistle and a foul on the floor. That's a foul against the Wolverines. Tomorrow on ESPN, college hoops doubleheader will start at 3 Eastern. Yeah, probably won't be too pretty for Hofstra, but still kind of cool. Kentucky's playing in Brooklyn for that game at 3 Eastern, and then at 5, Tennessee and Carolina. Those games will stream live on Watch ESPN. Tomorrow, Sunday. Over the top, not a great pass, but a good tip by Leaf out to Hamilton.
Well, that was really good. Bryce Alford saw the mismatch inside, called for the high-low, just didn't get it.
Shot clock starting to wind down, so ball gets fouled on another 3. And I think that's Wilson's second foul against Ball shooting a 3.
That's what I was going to say, by the same guy. First one, I think, was a flop. This one here was a tackle.
There were games where Lamar Jackson didn't get hit that hard. That's his 3rd foul. He's had some good moments in this game, DJ Wilson. The 2 big men for Michigan have really improved. Ball at the free throw line. He struggled in the first half of the line, makes one.
DJ Wilson didn't really understand coming to Michigan the daily grind, the daily work of college basketball. And it took him a year and a half, really. And now he's taken off, and I would expect over the course of this year that kid's going to average about 14 for Michigan, averaging about 8 now.
He's the one Californian on this Michigan roster. Ball only made 1 of 3 free throws. We found a weakness.
Yeah, that's it. I tell you what else he's done a pretty good job of. He sat down and guarded a variety of positions, including Irvin, when Irvin was rolling in the first half.
There was a time in this game he was guarding Wilson on the low block.
Right.
Wagner, and he gets fouled. So we've definitely had more whistles since halftime.
It's because less threes. Guys are taking the ball at the bucket.
Clemson, Ohio State. We're here at Pauley Pavilion, feeling like a playoff kind of game. How about the freshman for the Bruins, Dan?
Man, we talk about ball, and we should. I think he's going to be the first pick in the draft. But this kid is so good, so well schooled. TJ Leaf, and then Lonzo Ball. That was a great play. Lonzo Ball has made threes from, and I'm being literal here, almost half court. They have dominated this game. 30 points between the 2 of them, 6 assists, 3 steals.
How about out of the timeout? Michigan commits a 5-second violation.
And look who was involved. Ball and Leaf and John Beilein can't believe it.
And Ball senses that Michigan wasn't quite ready. He thought about speeding up and going to the basket. Wolverines got organized on defense. Leaf down low. He's got the size advantage and just turns with the hook shot and a nice touch.
Well, his ball just spins like you want one to, and when you spin the ball properly, it kind of sticks on the rims, kind of sucks its way through the bottom.
He is so good. TJ Leaf, UCLA shooting 66%, and Leaf took a shot there.
Ran over, an upscreen came, and Duncan Robinson. This is so nice, though, right in the post. Little fake help from Wagner. Right shoulder, now back to the left, and the ball spins so beautifully that it just stays on the rim. If a ball spins sideways, it'll shoot itself out. But if it spins with proper backspin rotation, it stays on the rim.
7 of 10, 15 points with still 15 minutes to go.
Dave, he does it easy, man. He just, what do you want a guy to do? He does it.
He's shooting 67% coming in, so this is about his normal game.
Yeah, and it's not all layups. I mean, he's not a kid that's just standing around the block, 375 pounds, backing in. He does everything.
Robinson used the shot fake to get by the big man, switched to his left and missed it.
Well, that's three. That's three misses. Two by Wilson, one by Robinson. That's charge. That's bad call.
Instead, they're calling the block.
Tell you what, Wagner was there a long time. He read it perfectly, and the referee, because ball was going sideways, wouldn't call it.
That's the third on Wagner. That's a big call against him. And for the moment, he's going to go to the bench. 14:49 to go. Senior Mark Donnell back in for Michigan.
Mark Donnell's brother, Andrew, is a lineman for the LA Rams. Tremendous player at Iowa.
Alford, runner, good.
Well, Mark Donnell helped block the defender on Alford. He didn't move his feet, get in front, and stop the drive.
That's not the kind of block you want in hoops.
No, that cost you two against this team.
Ball right on top of Urban. Robinson has Leaf, and he got him with the shot fake. Then it was swatted. Anabogu has been a tremendous shot blocker in this game.
He's the difference, and he's the difference because when he wasn't in this game, Michigan was going to the bucket and finishing these. But Anabogu in the game, he just comes over, blocks it, and doesn't react.
Officially, that's his third block.
Yeah, well, that's about 5.
I think so. Walton pull up. No good. Anabogu got a hand on it. Loose ball. And Wolverines have it. They're going to call a foul against Alford. Going for the loose ball.
It's a play on Alford with some great hustle.
Well, I do think the point you made about there haven't been as many jump shots, has been a more aggressive half offensively. That's contributed to the whistles, but it's not been only that.
No.
The whistles are coming fast now.
They are, and we had a nice conversation with one of the refs at halftime, how happy he was to stay out of it. Our answer was, keep it that way.
Sometimes maybe they can't help themselves. Nice move to the basket.
You know why that happened? Because he kept Anabogu off balance by going a little inside out. Anabogu couldn't get his steps to react and block it with his left hand.
Alford, what a dish to Leaf. Reverse.
That's beautiful basketball. The screener sets a great screen for a shooter, comes off, goes back to the screener. That's beautiful.
Bill Rockman feeling aggressive. Didn't get the roll. The putback is good, though.
Abdul Rahman brought Anabogu over, which opened up the help side the rebound for Donnell.
Michigan just trying to hang with the second-ranked Bruins, who are playing so well again today. And they're doing a pretty good job of hanging. Shot clock at 10. Alford. Now Holiday baseline. Holiday spectacular.
Hey, that's just one of many. That's just, he goes by everybody up, dipsy-do, unbelievable. That's just one of many great plays in this game.
I mean, what's he, their 5th or 6th best player? The face from Donnell.
Well, that's what Michigan needs. You know, that's only their second post-up bucket of the day. Donnell posted up on Anabogu, and he was able to separate and get it over.
Lonzo Ball. High post area for Leaf. He does keep that ball up high.
Yes, he does.
Tough shot. Bryce Alford, no good. Michigan will live with that one.
Yeah, and what you got to remember is Michigan has the 9th best scoring defense in the country.
That one was tipped by Anabogu, but it went in.
Yeah, and Abdul Rahman is confident blasting by Alford.
That's a travel. But just when you thought the Bruins were going to pull away, Michigan is right there.
Yeah, but this is pretty good.
Yeah, this is
look at this.
Really good.
Around his guy, up and around Donnell. Donnell comes over. Look, he jumps, but he's out of the way. And, man, look at that chin on the rim. Look at that. He stays with it. He's still looking at the ball. Kids out there, don't drop your head in traffic. Lift your head in traffic. It gives you strength to stay in the air and to finish.
Bill Rockman almost had it picked by Holiday.
Good move by Steve Alford, getting his son Bryce out of there. Bryce was gassed.
Now another whistle. That's going to be a foul against UCLA. Up and UCLA has just amazing. And we got lots of great ones in the house tonight. Baron Davis is here. How about Mike Warren, who went on to be a TV star with his daughter-in-law, Jamal Wilkes. I asked Bill Walton, the most underrated player in UCLA history. That's the guy he named. Jim Herrick, the former coach, won a national championship here, and in large part, well, he had a lot of good players, but Toby Bailey was the most outstanding player in that Final Four, was he not?
Toby Bailey played at the speed of Lonzo Ball. He played fast up and down the court.
Got Mitchell Butler sitting next to Toby Bailey, I think.
Think about Bill Walton, Abdul-Jabbar. Swen Nader didn't even get in games here, and he ended up playing for 107 years in the NBA and ABA. Couldn't even get in a game behind Walton.
Well, I think they've redone Pauley Pavilion, and they've incorporated more of the history. But still, when you come in here, the first thing you do is look up in the rafters and see those retired numbers.
I agree, but I'll tell you what, there are some great players. Tommy Curtis, Pete Turgovich, Dave Myers. I remember as a kid, they were on all the time battling David Thompson, Tim Stoddard, Burleson, Monty Tao of North Carolina State, Notre Dame with John Shoemate. John Shoemate's here as a scout, and John Shoemate and UCLA, Digger Phelps broke the 88-game winning streak. Dwight Clay with the jumper.
Ball down the lane, fouled. And I don't know if that's a shooting foul or not. We're going to find out. Dave Hall's going to tell us. Sports Center at night with Bucci and Anderson after the brand new 30 for 30. Catholics versus convicts. Full breakdown of the Heisman, Army, Navy, everything else. Sports Center at night on ESPN. Streaming live on the app.
You know, for UCLA fans, TJ Leaf reminds me of Dave Myers.
Dave Myers, yeah.
He guards positions, he moves, he plays tall. He's going to go into post here against Walton.
And Myers, Dave's sister, her jersey was hanging here inside Pauley Pavilion. Aaron Holiday for three.
Aaron Holiday has hit shots with hands in his face. He's come off the bench. Steve Alford told me yesterday, he's just the perfect guy off the bench. He guards all positions, no ego. Man.
Started last year as a freshman. Because Ball is here and others taking that bench role, has not complained one bit. He's playing even better.
Well, that's what we said. It moved everybody over a spot.
The three answered from Donnell.
Well, that's his specialty. I know he only had two coming into the year, but that's what he does better than anything else offensively.
Michigan is not going away. 13 of 19. That's their first three of the half. Holiday left his feet, somehow found Hamilton.
That's just movement. Hamilton started on the left side, and Steve Alford has done such a good job of teaching these guys to move. On the drive, Holiday, because of his strength, was able to find.
This is already the most points that Michigan has allowed in a game this year. We got 10 minutes to go. I think UCLA is going to score again. Joe Rockland to pull up. He had a great look. Ball went high for the rebound. Somehow flipped it to Holiday. Hamilton, same spot, different result. Air ball. What happened?
He got excited. Got excited, ran into one, shot it long.
Irvin, three.
That's his spot.
Good.
That's his spot. He'll run right to the left corner or right to the right corner in transition. UCLA looking a little gassed right now.
That was huge. A great look for Isaac Hamilton. He missed it. The answer from Irvin, 14 made threes for the Wolverines. Hamilton a little closer.
I'm telling you, the ball in the middle. Hamilton gets it there almost any time he wants. Ball gets it there, and Holiday gets it there.
Holiday putting a lot of pressure on the ball. Derek Walton's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, Derek Walton has really struggled offensively this year. Other than against SMU when he hit 7 threes, he really hasn't been able to find his strokes.
Irvin, not this time.
Nothing going to the rim. You don't even have to watch the ball. Just watch people cutting towards the rim. The ball will follow it at Michigan. If it doesn't happen, it's a bad possession.
Bruins make you move on defense, that's for sure. Hamilton draws a foul.
And it's just a high weaving motion which spreads the court and it opens the middle. It is very easy for my overweight, bald-headed, ridiculous self to say keep the ball out of the middle. It is very difficult to keep the ball out of the middle because of how they spread everything.
There's a little hair there. Come on, Dan.
It just swooshes around. But it's so easy to say, like, hey, keep the ball out of the middle. All right. They spread you and they drive you. That's the beauty of being in this chair. You got all the answers in this chair.
Well, and UCLA presents so many problems. Ball. It's the three.
Big possession. You just get the feeling that this is a time where Michigan could make a run.
Wilson just back in the game, missed the three.
Bad shot. He had to go one more time to Walton.
Off the foot, but not a turnover, not yet at least. Still UCLA ball.
Yeah, you just get the feeling like UCLA, until they get to the timeout, is a little bit slower, a little bit tired. You see, taking the ball out of bounds right now, I think that's Hamilton with his hands on his knees. And about hands on his knees.
Ball almost had it stripped, somehow kept it. Hamilton, too strong. I think you're right.
You can tell they're not getting back on defense.
Ball went for the steal, committed the foul.
You can just tell there's not a snap to him. UCLA is a fast, quick team. Watch ball. He's going to try to anticipate the crossover. Yeah, they call that a foul. I'm not so sure. See, they're tired.
Yep, they are.
Every guy right now has his hands on his knees at the free throw line. Holiday's behind the free throw line.
Already in the bonus, Michigan shooting 1-1. Derek Walton, who is an excellent free throw shooter. So that's huge for Michigan if they can get to the line.
Yeah, it's big. Now Simpson's coming in for Walton, and I would think, given how UCLA looks, Simpson would pick up full court.
Made them both. This will allow them to do that if they want to.
Yeah, Alford's going to come in for Ball. You can see Ball is really tired going to the bench.
Simpson plays back in the half court. And Bogu, not quite the same skill level offensively as Leaf, but he is so big, strong, fast, talented. He'll go to the free throw line when we come back.
ESPN's
The Bruins up to number 2 in the country after the win at Rupp last weekend. And folks in this town thinking UCLA's got its best team in a decade. And they've had some good ones in the intervening years.
Yeah, they've gone to 2 Sweet 16s before the catastrophe last year, but this is a different level because of the freshmen, because of Ball, because this kid right there, Bryce Alford, can move to off guard and be like the number 3 or number 4 threat. TJ Leaf is as good a freshman, maybe as good a player as there is in the country.
All right, I realize it's December 10th. The Bruins, they are going to be disappointed this year if they're not in the Final Four.
Well, I think out here they're disappointed every year.
I
even think they were disappointed when Ben Howland went 3 straight times to the Final Four.
Yeah, they never won it.
Yeah,
look at all the great players we had. Darren Collison, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love. We never won it all.
But the one thing that I think people have missed is, let's be honest, back in the Wooden days, I'll give you an example. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then Lou Alcindor, played at UCLA as a walk-on. And people don't know that. Like, I read his book. He was a walk-on, and his job was to transport, like, tubes of film back to New York City. So it's a different era, obviously.
How about the deflection to the Bruins, and Golliman, who's back in with 4 fouls, laid it in. That is huge.
Yeah, that's just bad luck. And you don't need bad luck against UCLA. They can get buckets on their own. Irvin
in that elbow area.
You got to make. You can't miss that shot. If you're Zach Irvin, that's a shot that you're 3 out of 4 on, but you have to be in this game because you know down here they're going to get a good shot.
Holiday, 3, good.
How good is he?
Tremendous.
Wow.
He comes off the bench for this team. He's 5 for 5 from three-point range. Timeout, Wolverines.
Talk about a guy coming in that can just break the game open, and he's done it easy. He's not been a pig. He's 5 for 5. He's moved into spots, and he's guarded like a madman. Talking about young guys. I mean, Holloway is only a sophomore. Leaf, we've talked about Paul. They all move well without the basketball.
He's not quite as big as his brother Drew, who's had a really good NBA career, still going.
Drew did one of the great things. He took time off. His wife, Lauren Cheney, now Lauren Holiday, had a brain tumor and surgery. And Drew Holiday did a great thing in staying with her and missing the early parts of the NBA season.
Said, I'm not going to play. I need to take care of her. And he did. Wilson fell down, so Hamilton just went right to the basket.
Middle of the floor is like where they like to play. If you don't have a shot blocker in there, you've got real problems, and nobody blocking shots for Michigan.
Good move from Walton. Challenged the shot blockers back to the free throw line for him. So he'll shoot two. We get a chance to remind you that tomorrow, doubleheader of college hoops over on ESPN. Kentucky and Hofstra from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That's at 3 Eastern. And then following that one, number 7 North Carolina will match up with Tennessee. And Rick Barnes at 5 Eastern on ESPN as well. Both games are streamed live. Carolina, the one loss on the road in Bloomington.
Yeah, I was 17 years at Indiana, and we were doing a game, but when I saw that environment, there was no chance anybody was going to win in there in Assembly Hall other than Indiana that night.
Gallman has fouled out. Thomas Welsh hurt, not playing with a bruised knee. Gallman hadn't played a whole lot. Those 5 fouls have come in short time on the court. There's Thomas Welsh, the junior from here in LA. He has been really good.
11 points a game, but in the Kentucky game, Alford kept running some baseline where he was a screener, baseline flex action. He popped back, hit 2 monster shots to basically ice the game. It's a heck of a performance with him not in.
Yep.
Really good.
He's a 7-footer, block shots, rebounds. Both free throws good from Derek Walton. 8-point lead for UCLA. He's got 1,000 now in his career.
You can't help. You've got to make him go beat you.
Alford found an opening, hits the 3.
That's why you can't help. Everybody, once the ball went on the block, Anagabu should have stayed with their man. They didn't. Got into rotation, and the best shooter on the court had a great look.
Each team has made 14 threes. Walton attacking, another block for Anabogu. It's at least 4 in the game for him. He's part of that freshman class. Irvin pull up, good.
Well, pretty good patience by Irvin. I thought he was going to take a bad shot when he got the ball back. They moved it. He lifted up and knocked it in. I think Michigan needs to pick up here. There's nothing Michigan's doing defensively that is making UCLA uncomfortable. And the way you make a team uncomfortable is pick them up full court or deny the wings, and they're denying nothing right now.
Leaf. That time maybe deflected ball in there for the offensive rebound. Had it stripped. Robinson comes away with it. Michigan has an advantage here. Robinson trailed, and there was Ball.
Boy, was that good by Ball. He did not go for the shot first.
Walton for 3.
Terrible shot. Terrible shot. They had better shots in that possession by whipping the ball around. Derek Walton completely settled.
Under 5 to go.
And that was a big possession to get a bad shot. You had a 3-on-3. Small against big. Leaf played it pretty well.
That's going to be a holding foul against the Wolverines.
Anabagu gets the ball. Everybody needs to stay. No switch. 2 guys you see right there are running towards the basketball because of a lack of communication. This didn't need to be that complicated. You just stay with your man, and look at this. Been doing it all game, just spiking the ball and looking at him. I like it.
I mean, he has been overlooked in this whole thing. Kid from the Inland Empire, Corona, maybe 50 miles from here or so. Part of that freshman class, and yet a tremendous talent in his own right.
I'll tell you what, I've seen, Bam over at Kentucky.
Yeah.
This kid's every bit as good. Doesn't have the same skill set to fit 17 feet, but has the same ability to impact the game.
He's a freshman, just a physical. I think he's still 17 years old. He's a young freshman also. Rockman on the perimeter. Kind of working his way a little closer. No good.
Did you see what happened there, though? Abdul Rahman was driving, and nobody left their man to go help for UCLA. They had discipline enough to stay home on three-point shooters and made Abdul Rahman score over somebody. That's the difference between what UCLA did and what Michigan did a possession ago. 1-3-1 here.
Yeah, finally a different defensive look. All for three. Good. What do you do?
Punt.
Robinson trying to answer. And what an outlet. Leaf leaking out. Leaf! A whistle for the moment will quiet Pauley Pavilion. How about the quick burst from the Bruins?
Oh, he wants more. Bryce Alford has taken a lot, but he is delivering, and his dad kind of likes it. I don't blame him. You?
I do not. All right, thanks. BYU can score, not like the Bruins, though, and it's so balanced. They get so many weapons.
Well, there's a ton of weapons out here, and there are guys that do it every night. And you said it. I mean, forget the Lakers. This is showtime right here.
Right here. For this year in this town, where the Clippers are good again, and you got Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and the whole game.
Yeah, but the Clippers whine too much. Let's be honest. Doc Rivers whines. We like him because he was a TV guy, and we give him a pass. But he whines. I talk to NBA guys that are just like, man, that team whines, Dave.
I mean, we like it for a couple other reasons, too. I mean, Doc Rivers has some good qualities. Good guy,
I'm sure he's
very
a good guy,
coach.
But we give him such a pass because he was on TV. And does he whine? Chris Paul, whine. Your guys are good now going to state.
Yeah, the Warriors are not playing well tonight, apparently. I think Memphis is taking it to them. But the Warriors came down here against the Clippers the other night and looked like UCLA is looking today. Bryce Alford with a foul.
This is a great play by Bryce Alford, but watch number 5 in blue. He's supposed to be over here. He reaches. Bryce Alford takes advantage of it. DJ Wilson, you see him there? His man ball was literally at the A in UCLA. He should have been clogging that up. Nobody clogs it up, and as I said earlier, Bryce Alford can dance. He's got some shake to him.
Bruins are pulling away 96-80 against one of the very best defensive teams statistically in the country. They're 3 away from 100.
Well, you knew. We talked about it, Dave. If you don't come out ready to play in 5 minutes, you're going to get blown out.
It was tied at halftime, 50-50. We've had a lot of that in the second half.
Well, that Hall guy likes to hear himself blow the whistle.
Dave Hall has been a factor here in the second half.
And good for him. I mean, he's getting paid, might as well work, but he might want to swallow that thing next time he's involved in a good game.
But the point you and I were talking about, first one's good from Wagner. This year, this is going to be the show.
Yeah.
This is going to be the place to be, Pauley Pavilion, in this town.
Well, you know, we were saying it's one thing. You've got Jessica Alba here. You've got Vince Vaughn. You've got Urkel here. You've got all these guys here. All the big timers are here.
Yeah, this is a non-conference game. This isn't Arizona or Oregon or USC.
The key, though, is to keep them coming back. Yeah. And this team keeps you coming back. Like, if you watch this game and you're a fan at all, you're like, man, when's the next game? I want to come back and watch this UCLA team.
What a crossover move by Alonzo Ball. Then he got sort of hip checked. does a push-up to get up, just to get a little conditioning work in.
Let him know.
Yeah.
That hurt me.
I still got plenty in the tank. And look, there's so much talent on this team. The guy who has changed everything for this program is standing at the free throw line. Yeah. I'm not tired.
He has, though, to your point, Holiday coming off the bench, what a weapon. Bryce Alford not having to handle the ball and then run around and try to get shots. He can just move like he just did for a layup. What a weapon. And TJ Leaf has helped as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's immediately one of the best players in the country, and a Bogu, tremendously talented freshman. Isaac Hamilton's the leading returning scorer in the Pac-12, and just gets totally overlooked.
And you know what? He's the leading scorer on this team, and he's getting 18, which is a lot.
A crossover move, but then a brick on the three from Ibi Watson. Michigan only 2 made threes after 12 of them in the first half. And we knew those shots were going to have to continue to go in.
Steve Alford made a great adjustment.
Steve
Alford said, you're staying with shooters. You're going to beat us with tough twos. You're not going to beat us with step-up threes. And you know what? It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to have young kids do it, and they did it. Why not?
Oops. Leaf, put back.
Where did he catch it? We said earlier, he caught it at the top of his reach.
That basket by Leaf got him over 100. This is a year for great freshmen. This is your top 5?
Well, the Fultz kid's really good at Washington. Don't get me wrong, but the ones I've seen this year, I like these kids. 2 at UCLA, 2 at Kentucky. Josh Jackson, I know he got off to a slow start earlier, but I saw about 3 minutes of him, and that's all you need to know. This De'Aaron Fox outplayed ball, and he has 1 triple-double. He will have 5 triple-doubles by the time this whole thing is over.
Offer's going to check out of the game. Gerald Smith comes in. Well, you got the kid at Arizona, Lowry Markkinen, who's really a tremendous talent.
Yeah, and there's a ton of them all over the country. And
the Duke kids, and Tatum's back.
Yeah, but Giles is really good, but he hasn't played, so I can't put him in there. Tatum's just starting to play again. But you know what?
Smith from NC State, Isaac from Florida State's been awesome.
How about, I keep forgetting Bam's last name, Adebayo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good as well from Kentucky.
That one short, the tip back. In the final minute, Michigan, they will gain something from coming here on the road and playing this game. And they played a heck of a first half.
They played a great first half. Best first half you and I have seen in a long, long time. But again, that 5-minute stretch from 1:22 to go in the first half when Michigan was up 7 until 3 or 4 minutes gone in the second half where it was a 15-point swing, that sealed the deal.
That decided the game. Smith draws a foul. So the Bruins will stay undefeated. They'll be 10-0.
I wonder if that clown that flew that plane asking for Alford to be fired, what's he feeling like right now?
I think he's cheering for Lonzo Ball and company, don't you?
I do too.
I think he's enjoying this.
I do too. Hey, Steve, he's with you winter tide, baby.
They got a monster recruiting class lined up. That's all for discussion later, but let's just say this. The program has changed a lot.
Pretty good hands with the Alford family and the Ball family.
Leaf comes out. What an impact he has made. Think about TJ Leaf committed originally to Arizona. He'd help the Wildcats right now.
Oh, man, he'd help the Celtics right now.
And the Celtics, they're going to be picking one of these kids. They're going to have a high pick next year. One of these freshmen, they're going to be.
That kid's not bad right there.
No, he's good.
He changed the game.
Final few seconds. What a treat to watch this one.
It's must-see TV. UCLA became must-see TV when Ball showed up. He's lived up to expectations. The win over Kentucky and then the fun we had here today. What a show we had today in Pollard.
The 10-0 Bruins looking like, I know they're the second-ranked team in the country. They're looking like the best team in college basketball right now. Bruins with an impressive win for Dan Dockage and our crew. Dave Fleming saying so long here from LA. We got Colorado BYU coming up next. But first, we'll send it back to the studio.